Welcome back to the School of HardKnox podcast. On this week's show, I know you don't get to stop. I know you need rest. You have to learn how to move differently. On this week's show, we are talking about making sure that our rest is intentional. You don't want to miss this one. It is time to get on the bus because class is in session. This is episode 158 of the School of HardKnox podcast, and it starts now. Thank you for listening to the School of HardKnox podcast. This show is about personal development for business success. Not only do we tell the stories of successful people in order to create more successful people, we want to help you turn your thoughts and ideas into reasonable, rational, and profitable action. This show is about my life experiences, your life experiences, and how we can work together to become the best versions of ourselves. Prepare to be inspired, motivated, and most importantly, challenged. Enjoy the show. What's going on? What's going on, Hard Knocks Nation? Yeah, I know it's midweek. Like it's a little different. Man, listen, I'm trying to be so intentional about everything in my life that sometimes this is what you're gonna get. I tried to tell you last week, I'm gonna give you something every week. But as far as dropping every Monday, life be lifing. And we're going to talk about that today. I'm not into just saying things. I'm not into just coming up with something on the fly. Not anymore. That used to be my superpower. These days, my thought load is pretty well spoken for. My capacity is pretty well spoken for when it comes to, being a husband and a father and a businessman and all these things that I'm trying to get into just in my community, right? Whether it's things at the church or being on the HOA executive board here in my subdivision. My thought load it's starting to get a little taxing. It really is. So when it comes to the pod, I'm not just going to pull up and just say whatever, right? Like I'm to the point where I'm not even really comfortable speaking or presenting to you unless I have a well thought out dialogue. So that's where we are. And as you can hear, this weather is doing a number on your boy's sinuses. It's doing a number. We going from 80 degrees to 50 degrees to 30 degrees to back up to 80. Southwest Ohio. That's how we roll. If you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes. That's what they say. So you might hear a little something in my voice. I got a little sparkling water here, clear things up. But yeah, I'm gonna be intentional because today's topic is really all about being busy, but also learning how to rest, like learning how to take a moment for yourself. Yeah. And, everybody talks about stopping to rest. Everybody talks about how important it is to rest, but real life doesn't always give you that option. Right. I'll start off here because this is the thought that was in my mind when I started to develop this dialogue. I used to have a personal trainer a few years ago, and we used to do high intensity interval training. And one of the things I was not prepared for was in between sets or in between movements, I would have to get on the treadmill. Yeah. So the whole point was to rest while I was still moving, right? Not only to keep my heart rate up, but to just keep everything moving and everything loose. So let's say we would do, something with a medicine ball where we would, slam it on the ground and then bounce it back up and slam it on the ground. I would do that, 3 sets of 20. And then I would get on the treadmill for 60 seconds, or I would get on the elliptical for 60 seconds, or the stationary bike for 60 seconds. And in that 60 seconds, that was when I was to wipe the sweat off my face, get a drink of water, but I was still constantly moving. And I didn't really understand that concept until a few sessions in. And I'm like, man, like resting while moving is powerful, because you really don't, if you apply that to life, you really don't, you can't pause everything, right? Like you can't just stop. Well, I guess you can, but everything around you is still going to move, right? Everything around you is still in motion, even though you might be paused. And then in that case, when everything around you is still in motion and you're stopped, then you get worried about missing things, and you get worried about getting behind, and then you start to worry about things passing you by, or you get FOMO, fear of being left out, or fear of missing out. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's kind of where I was when I was thinking, and man, like I just like in my personal training sessions where I had to learn how to breathe and catch my breath while I was still moving, which is contrary to everything that I've ever done, whether it was football practice or racquetball or any type of physical sport I've ever played. When it was time to catch my breath, I stopped moving. I sat down. Maybe I put my hands above my head. Maybe I got a drink of water. But the point was, I stopped moving. Whereas in these sessions, the rest was actually still movement. It was less intense, but it was still movement. And I think that's what we have to learn, right? I think that's what learning how to rest actually is. You have to learn how to rest while you're still moving, because sometimes you don't get to pause. Sometimes you can't just hit the stop button on life and everything around you stops or slows down for you to catch your breath. You actually have to catch your breath while you're moving. So today, what I wanted to do, or this week, what I wanted to do, again, I'm catching you midweek, so hopefully you still got time to put these into practice, is I just want to give you 5 kind of points, right? And I like to do my list of 5 Hard Knocks way. It gets us in, gets us the point, gets us some resolution, and then gets us on our way. Maybe one day the podcast will be 2 hours long. You can listen to 5 different segments. But for now, it's quick, right? This is your commute on your way to work. This is while you're at the gym. This is while you're making dinner. Like, this is a efficient show, because my life is not centered around the pod. However, my life experiences are. So I want to make sure I deliver them concisely and clearly. Number one, again, out the gate, number one, you don't need a full stop. You just need a slower pace. So think about this. We're talking about getting to the point where you can rest while you're in motion. And one of the things that you have to learn how to do is you have to learn how to be able to throttle your pace of life. And what I mean by throttle your pace of life, it's the exact same things if you're driving down the expressway. And in order to keep up with traffic, when you're in a pack, when you're in a bunch of cars, you might have to go faster, or you might have to go slower. You go faster to keep up so you don't get run over. You go slower to kind of back it off so that you don't run someone else over, right? So we have to learn how to throttle and to constantly adjust the speed or the pace of life that we are living. We cannot live every second of life at a fast pace. I know we've been taught over the years, especially in hustle culture, that we got to keep grinding. We got to keep moving. You don't slow down. You keep going. And I get the sentiment, but I think the point of being able to throttle is actually more relevant in terms of being conscious of where you are, how you're doing, what needs to get done on a day-to-day basis, right? You don't want to get to the point where you're moving so fast that everything around you is a blur, because at that point, then you start to pay less attention to what? The details, which we talked about a month or two ago. You start to pay less attention to the details because things become about speed, and you start to prioritize speed. And again, you can't have everything, right? So Not every day needs to feel or to look like pressure, right? We have to get to the point where we move with intention and not always just urgency. I think even myself, and my wife gets on me a lot about creating urgency in situations that don't require urgency, and just creating urgency for the sake of urgency. Like, why are you rushing to get out of the house to get to church? We're still going to be 10 minutes early. Just because we're not 15 minutes early, that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's down to that granular of a level where she gets on me about creating urgency that doesn't need to be there, which causes undue stress on her. When that trickles down to the kids, it trickles over to the dog, right? And it creates unnecessary chaos because I do operate with urgency as a priority, and I'm trying to work on it, guys. I'm trying to learn how to throttle things that won't affect anything else. I mean, I guess the best way to put this is not everything needs to be urgent, right? Like, not everything requires urgency. You know, the work that I do sometimes, yeah, there's deadlines. There's exact dates where things need to be started and finished. And those do require urgency. But, you know, being on time to a family function when, I mean, we all know that, like, the time a family function starts is merely a suggestion, is kind of where I failed in the past. Somebody say 3:00, I'm there at 2:45. Why? Why are you rushing us out the house? Right? I'm guilty. That leads me into the next point. Not everything needs my energy that day or today. Some things can actually wait, not ignored, just carried. They just don't need to be carried out right now. Right? So I'm a very macro person. I look at the whole picture, and I look at things that need to be done over the course of a week. And I try to get things done over the course of a week. And sometimes I try to do all of those things in a day or two. Because to me, a to-do list is, it's not a schedule, right? So like a to-do list doesn't have boundaries or guardrails on it that say, hey, this needs to be done on Tuesday or this needs to be done on Thursday. If I can do Thursday's task on Tuesday and Tuesday's task on Monday, in my mind, I'm getting closer to a point where I can rest. And the reality is it's not always engineered that way. Like, it doesn't need to be like that, so to speak. Some things can absolutely wait. And it's not that I'm ignoring them. It's just that, again, the urgency is not required for those situations. There's nobody necessarily waiting. There's nobody in critical condition based on what I can or can't get done in that day. And the way that I choose to work on that or to choose to resolve that personally is I have to look at each day and I have to actually pick what matters, right? Like, what actually has to get done today or what actually matters for today? What are the essential tasks that need to be completed today? And what are the things that it doesn't really matter if it gets done today or if it gets done tomorrow? Right? Like, we got plenty of milk. I need more milk, but we still got milk. So I don't need to go get milk today. I can wait till tomorrow. Well, I don't want to run out. You're good. You're not going to run out. Even if you got Khalil in the house who drinks a half gallon of milk by himself in a couple of days, you're fine. Just wait till tomorrow. Go home. Don't speed. Go home. Right? That's kind of where I'm at. I also have to learn how to rest and sit without guilt, right? Because again, if I have a to-do list that I can't clear in a day or two, I start to feel guilty because I'm like, man, I'm over here resting. I'm over here sitting down. I could have did X, Y, and D, or I should have did X, Y, and Z. Dang. And you just get that little funny feeling like I should be doing more, or I could be doing more. But the reality is, if you're actually resting, you're actually doing something. Like, we got to stop treating rest as if it's number one, a bad thing, We also have to stop treating rest as if it's um, a break or a pause or a stop. We have to treat rest as if it's a task, just like everything else we do, right? I'm going to meet with this client, write this proposal, oversee this installation, rest, go pick up the children, cook dinner, take my wife out, wash the dog. Like it should be rest we should view as a necessary task on our daily, weekly agenda. It shouldn't be something that we look at and say, that's a time where I'm absolutely going to accomplish nothing. Therefore, it's not a priority. Because that's what we do. We look at rest as if it's a time where, since nothing is getting accomplished in that time frame, that it's then a waste of time. And then it goes down the priority list until it completely falls off. The reality is, what we should be doing is we should be treating rest as a to-do item on our agendas. And we need to prioritize rest just like we prioritize eating lunch, eating breakfast, exercising, right? Because it's that important. Now, moving on to number 3, you can be present without being overwhelmed. Life gets loud when everything feels important. This right here is something that, again, in my house, my wife and I both struggle with this. And I think my kids struggle with it too. We're not even close to being able to master the concept of ranking things, obligations, activities, ranking things by level of importance. We are terrible at it as a household, right? Everything we do in our house is important. And that's kind of how we approach things. The kids as well. And obviously they're picking it up from us. Everything we do is like level 1 critical. Reality is not. But we're just not good at categorizing things. I don't know if we start to just feel like the anxiety of maybe procrastination or not doing something. I'm not sure what it is. But even a simple task like cutting the grass, like I think, for me, a lot of times I'll drive down the street on a really nice day like today. The sun is shining and I see people's grass just looking pristine. And I see people out cutting their grass. And as I get closer and closer to my house, I start to notice that my grass needs to get cut because it's not quite as crispy as my neighbor to the left or to the right. And then at that very moment, getting the grass cut becomes a top priority. When the reality is I could probably wait 2, maybe even 3 more days as long as it doesn't rain to cut the grass. And that's what we do as a family. I have to admit it. We rank everything way too high. And in ranking everything way too high, we again fall into a trap of, I don't know what to do first. I don't know what to put last. It is a problem. It is a problem. That's probably going to be our extra credit for the next couple weeks, is figuring out and getting comfortable with ranking obligations and tasks and errands and things that need to get done, yes, but ranking them as to level of importance. Because to be honest, there's a lot of stuff that we prioritize as a family that we just don't need to put that kind of pressure on ourselves. Right? Like we just don't need to put that kind of pressure on ourselves. Life gets loud when everything feels important, but everything isn't equally important. Everything isn't equally important. I'm going to say that again. Everything isn't equally important. There's things that all of us do on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis that we have made important, but they're really not that important. And I can't tell you what those things are. You have to answer that question by yourself or with your family. But the important part of how I'm choosing to resolve that is to kind of, what's the word? Kind of push my family in a direction to focus on what's in front of them, to live in the moment, to be in the moment, to perform the task that's in front of you, that thing that's looking at you, right? Instead of thinking about tomorrow or next week, we're going to think about right now, right? And then not everything around you, because again, we're easily distracted. Me and my family, the Knox party of 5 plus the dog. We are easily distracted. We will go squirrel as a family. That's just kind of how we roll. Sometimes it serves us pretty well, like when we're on vacation. You get a lot of serendipitous moments. We might find the best restaurants, the best ice cream, the best activities, because we're easily distracted. But when we are in day-to-day life and we're going from task to task and getting things done, we go squirrel. And when we go squirrel, we tend to forget things because we don't know how to rank level of importance. Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. You don't have to solve everything in one moment. Yeah, I'm guilty of that too. That pressure, self-created. Life happens in pieces. Trying to solve all of the year's problems, the month's problems in one day. Trying to get everything done in one day. And I think what happens is in our minds, a lot of us don't give ourselves permission to rest until we reach an imaginary finish line, until we are 100% done with the tasks that are on this list that we've created of things that we don't know how to rank of level of importance and things that are in and out of the priority slots. This imaginary finish line, maybe it's at the end of the week, the end of the month, maybe it's right before your vacation, whatever. We feel like we can't rest until we get to that point. And I'm going to go back to the analogy with me and my trainer. Our workouts were 35 to 45 minutes, depending on what we were working on that day or that session. And I just got done telling you that in between every movement or every exercise, I had to take a 60-second break on the treadmill. Now, I was still moving, but I was taking a break. What my trainer did not do was wait until the end of the session to take a break. He did not do that. The end of the session was just the end of the session. But in between movements, there was rest built in that became a part of that 35 to 45 minutes. So the treadmill itself, what he would do when we first walked in, he would stretch me, right? I would lay on my back on the mat. He would stretch my legs, my arms, whatever. And then he would go over to the treadmill and he would set the treadmill at a particular pace for 35 minutes. That's how he would set it. And whether I was on the treadmill or not, the time was counting down. Resting was a part of my workout. So I'm here to tell you that you don't have to solve everything in one moment, right? That pressure is self-created. Life happens in pieces. You gotta deal with things in parts. You have to get to the point where rest is a part of the routine. Rest, the time that you're going to rest, the time that you're going to chill, the time that you're going to relax is just a part of the routine. You're not trying to get all the way to the end of the week or the end of the month to be intentional about rest. You have to do it in stride. You have to rest in stride. You have to learn how to rest while you're still in motion. And trying to solve all of the problems in one moment that's not how you do that. Trying to solve all the problems in one moment is you trying to get to a finish line that you created, right? And I know that's hard to understand for a lot of individuals that are like, I don't deserve to rest until I'm done. Because that's kind of how we were raised, right? Like that's kind of the philosophy is like, you rest when you done. Nah, you rest in between tasks so that you can refresh for the next task. You got to be intentional about that thing, because if you don't rest while you're still moving, if you don't rest while you're still working, then you're going to burn yourself out, and then you're going to resent whatever tasks you were in the middle of when the burnout came. Moving on. This is number 5. Calm is a skill, not a personality trait. You have to work to be calm. You have to work to learn how to operate at a slower pace. You have to work to learn how to throttle your energy levels. It's not a personality trait. There's not people that are just better at resting than other people. They've learned and they've trained themselves on how to be intentional about rest and how to prioritize rest in the middle of their tasks. They're not lazy, right? Now, there are some lazy people, I guess, in theory. But to me, lazy is the opposite of ambition. So you can't really label it like that. And maybe we'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, people that know how to rest, people that never look tired, people that never get burnt out, those individuals have trained themselves for that purpose, right? So it's not your personality. It's not, I'm just a doer. I'm just a goer. This is what I do. You have to train yourself. You have to teach yourself how to prioritize rest and how to make certain tasks more important than others, and how to ignore things, and how to put things on the back burner, and how to say no to things that you feel obligated to do, and how to say, I'm not in that season right now. I can't handle that. Right? Like, you have to train yourself. And a lot of that goes back to self-care, of prioritizing your health and prioritizing yourself so that you don't get burned out. Some people think peace just happens. Peace and rest are not a coincidence. Peace and rest are intentional. Peace and rest have to be practiced. They don't just happen. Pause your reactions, right? Again, how I'm choosing to resolve this particular point. Pausing my reactions, taking a little bit longer to think through things. A lot of times I will have all the intention in the world to rest, even in the middle of a task, but something will come up and then I react and then the rest is gone. Because for whatever reason, in this society we live in, we have been bamboozled into eliminating our rest period as soon as something more urgent or significant pops up, right? Instead of eliminating another task that's not that important, we go straight to, dang, I guess I got to wake up earlier that day, or dang, there go my sleep. Dang, there go my nap. Dang, there go my vacation. Dang, I guess I got to work on the weekends. Instead of making rest an actual task, instead of making rest an actual high level of importance item on your list, it's the first thing we eliminate. And I'm not sure why. I think that's just a product of the society that we live in. Pausing my reactions, breathing and thinking before responding, and moving with control versus emotion. Right? A lot of this we're reacting on emotion that will make us eliminate our rest period. But if we really think about it logically and we try to control what we can control, and we stay locked in on the greater task and the things that are actually at the top of the list, we will make better decisions, right? We will make more efficient decisions. We will be way more intentional about our decisions. So that's it as far as those 5 things. You can go back and kind of dial in and drill down on whichever ones you feel like you need to resolve in your daily activity. Quick review. Not everything needs your attention right now. You don't need a full stop. You just need a slower pace. Again, you need to be able to throttle. You can be present without being overwhelmed. Remember, life gets loud when everything feels important. Everything's not important. You don't have to solve everything in one moment. Calm is a skill, not a personality trait. We have to practice, guys. We have to practice on how to be calm. We have to practice on how to rest. We have to practice peace. We have to be intentional about it. It's not just going to happen. The way the world is set up, the way our society is set up, it is set up for you to wake up, have a hit of caffeine, go hard until lunch, eat some fake food from some restaurant somewhere, have another hit of caffeine, go hard until dinner, hit the social media for a few hours, hit the Netflix for a few hours, and then literally crash. That's how it's set up. That's the thing. That's the cycle, right? My question is, why? Why do we tolerate that? Like, why do we put up with that cycle on such a regular basis? When did it become okay to go until you physically can't move anymore and you have to, you just fall asleep? You know how many times, like, this just happened to us the other night. We had all intentions of going upstairs in our room, and the crazy part is we don't even watch TV together at night, like, ever. Like, maybe once or twice a week we'll turn the TV on before we go to bed. Usually it's just pillow talk. We fall asleep. That's when we have our quality time. I guess neither one of us felt like talking. We was tired dealing with the kids all day. I think this was maybe Sunday night. We put on a show. We've been watching The Pit. And we put on The Pit, man. And listen, I think I made it 10 minutes. Maybe. I can't even tell you. I was just so tired. Because it's go. And even last weekend, I had every intention of resting. Every intention of resting. So much so, I'm in the headquarters. I'm in the office with my partner last Friday. And I look at him, I'm like, bro, I'm in the house this weekend, bro. Like, I'm chilling. I'm tired. We had a busy week in the business. Like, we was up and down ladders and up and down scissor lifts and doing all kinds of stuff. It was a great week, but it was busy. He was tired. He said, bro, you definitely ain't in the house this week. I said, what you mean? My dad was actually there visiting with us. He was sitting in the strategy room with us, and he looked like, dang, he know your schedule. He said, you got an event at the kids' school tonight. It's like a carnival. I said, dang, you right. Forgot about it. He said, you got a gala to go to on Saturday night. He said, you got church on Sunday, and then you got 2 flag football games for nephew and niece on Sunday afternoon. And I said, bruh, you right. Like, I'm the opposite of rest this weekend. I'm outside. Not to mention we had a little breakfast with our friends on Saturday. Then I had a cousin in town from Detroit. She came in like nonstop. That right there, I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't let that happen. I feel robbed. Now, granted, I had a great weekend. Wouldn't change a thing. Only thing I would change is the level of rest that I got. Wasn't very healthy. So we're going to try it again this weekend. We're going to be intentional about our schedule. And I already told my wife, don't plan nothing, don't do nothing, don't make no commitment. She already tried to schedule. I said, nope, we booked up. We in the house. We're going to give it another go. So listen, we're going to hear from Crown Kids. And then we're going to come back. And then I'm going to give you your extra credit. You probably already know what that's going to be, but I'm going to give you your extra credit.
Knox Nation, quick question. When was the last time you got a break and your kids got their hair done right? That's what we help you do at Crown Kids Healthy Hair Care Salon. Clean parts, healthy hair routines, and a team that knows how to keep kids calm, comfortable, and confident. Yes, we even help our sensory-sensitive kiddos. We are located inside of Liberty Mall, just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. Book your next hair appointment hair party, or group class with Crown Kids, and let's keep those crowns looking right. For more information, just visit us at crownkidshair.com. Again, that's crownkidshair.com.
All right, and we are back. So, Crown Kids doing their thing. Listen, Crown Kids hair care has changed our lives. Obviously, we own the company, we own the brand, we own the trademark. Don't try nothing. We've shipped product all over the world. I'm not joking. We've shipped product all over the world. And our core audience, like our core client, like the people we serve, the community we serve, is foster and adoptive families, right? Families with children who maybe the parents and the child don't have the same complexion, right? So that is near and dear to our hearts. Obviously, we're a part of the foster and adoptive community personally, but this hair care line has changed the way that we see people, the way that we see humanity. So if you haven't had any experience with Crown Kids, I encourage you to hit the website, crownkidshair.com. That is our family's company, right? So again, we got the podcast. We advertising on the podcast, flat out. And she was running a 20% sale. If you go over to her Instagram page, at crownkidshealthyhaircare.com, if you go to artistcecilia.com, you might find a promo code, get you 20% off. But in the meantime, if you use Crown Me 15 will get you 15% off. Just thought I'd add that in there. All right, let's do extra credit. So extra credit. Let's just do it tomorrow. Whatever tomorrow is for you, whatever day you listen to this tomorrow. Don't try to do less. Do everything you need to do. Just do it a little calmer. Okay? Take away some of the urgency. Still perform the task and see how you feel after. Very simple. There will be a difference. So I'm going to say it one more time. Don't try to do less. Do everything you need to do. Keyword need to do. Just try to do it a little calmer, maybe a little slower. Take away the urgency and see how you feel. Because a lot of times, just like me, we manufacture urgency that doesn't need to be there. It causes undue stress. It puts pressure on the family that doesn't need to be there. And the trickle-down effect usually doesn't have a pretty outcome. Usually there's a lot of yelling. There's a lot of rushing. There's a lot of speeding. We don't need all of that. You still gonna get to church 10 minutes early. Maybe not 15, but definitely 10. I appreciate you guys for hanging with me again. This is a midweek episode. I'm dealing with some sinus situations, but I'm also living life intentionally. So I'm not coming on here if I don't have anything to say. I appreciate y'all. If you're rocking with me still, I want to hear from you. Send me an email, mark.w.knox@gmail.com. DM me. DM me on Instagram. I just want to hear from you. What you think about the show? Should we keep going? Give me some topics. What you want to hear about? We got listeners all over the world, just like Crown Kids. I can see the metrics. Also, hit the YouTube channel. We small right now, but I'm starting to just fill it up with content. Fill it up with content, right? So between the YouTube shorts, the long form stuff, we got our video platform. Everything is working. Everything is streamlined. I want to hear from you guys. Leave me some comments. Leave me some reviews. Let's get some feedback. So listen, I will see you guys next week. Class is dismissed. Thank you for listening to the School of HardKnox podcast. You can find our archives as well as new episodes by subscribing on Apple Podcast. Questions or concerns or feedback about the show? Message me directly on Instagram at the School of HardKnox. That's KNOX. Thank you for listening. See you next week.